Hello, and thank you for joining me for another one of my mini movies. Today, video number 37 in this short film help series, we're going to be talking about managing your description codes and importing codes and how we can share that data and merge it with the existing database. Magnet version 8, pretty impressive how you can share data now. Now this is a demonstration only. All techniques expressed or implied in this video are flying by the seat of my pants, and they are for demo purposes only, not to be treated as true training lessons. For true training, definitely rely on our professional services group. They're the ones that really do everything very professional, putting things together for a true training lesson. So definitely visit Topcon's Now website, or you can get that actually on your phone from the app. So let's get started. In this demonstration, we're going to be talking about entering in description codes and managing that data. And we're going to give a couple of different examples and actually just explain how a little bit about Magnet uses descriptions and codes. And basically I've got a blank canvas here. I've got a default job here. I've really uninstalled the program and reinstalled it, so it should look as default as possible that I can make it if you're just new to Magnet and then also want to bring in your custom description codes. Now with Magnet, I've created a brand new job, or it's a default job, and if you go to Edit here and you go to codes, notice there's no codes listed here. But if you go to edit points and you add a point, it reads from a default Magnet library of descriptions and codes. Or concrete, it's just a point feature. It's just a shot on asphalt or concrete. This is an air valve. Bottom of bank is a line feature. Boundary is an area feature. So there's points, lines, and areas. That's the three types of features. Now when you export out a description code list, and your code type would be a 0 for a point, a 1 for a line, and a number 2 for a bottom of or for a boundary type feature. And that's very important going on here in just a little bit. So let's say that you have a code that does not exist and you type it in for the first time. Let's say like a PK that's set. Well, actually they don't make PKs anymore, so Magnail set, something like that. When you try to save this particular point, it's going to come up and notice that Magnail set is not in here. So you have the option at that time to define your code as a point, line, or area. So this will be a point. And here we'll type in Magnail set for the full description. And then you can define what layer it's on. And these are the existing layers. Or we can create a new one. This particular job, let's just type in, let's add a layer. We'll just call it ground layer. Visibility on, off, style, a lot of information, for the point styles across, line width, area, and even avoidances and so forth. Not going to get into all those details here, but we got a ground layer. And then also the point here, you can define the color of it. For example, nice pretty pink for these icon color here. So now that you save that, it's in the list, Magnail set. So the next time you go to add, it will be listed here. Now one thing about this is it's just stored to this particular job. It's not stored to the default database. We can merge that, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But if you do create a brand new job and want to do a Magnail set, you're not going to see it if it's reading from the default library. Okay. Now another thing is, let's say we have a complete file that you want to bring in and start from scratch. If you go now to edit, you should have just Magnail set as your only description. Alright. But I have been given a survey codes list from the DOT. Now if I actually call this particular list up, it's been edited just a little bit. We have our code, we have our description, and this is our code type. So air conditioner is just a point, remember the 0. Ground brake line is a line feature, and they do not have any area features in here whatsoever. And if I even want to do my own, let's just call this one RB for Randy Line, and let's put a code in here too. Alright, and let's save this particular file. So you can build your own custom description list just like this. And let's close out of here. Just wanted to let you see what this is looking like. So let's bring that particular file in. So we'll go to Exchange, from a file. And I have it on Code Library. That's in my short list because I used this before, but if it, here's your type of data you want to bring in. So you'll choose Code Library and then choose the format. It's a CSV file. Navigate to your directory, grab your file, and then, very important, this was brought in as a commented limited file and is just separated as a CSV. But we have to define columns, I guess you'd say, of the particular file. And this is a default thing that just came up. I need to add a new custom style. So again, there was only 3 things. It was just the code itself, the description, and then the code type. But you can get as in depth as you really want by columns, by setting them to certain layers and so forth from there. We're not going to do that for this example. We'll just use code description and code type just like that CSV file was. We'll hit OK. Now basically it's giving you that there's already a code in here. It already exists. Basically if you just skip all, it will bring all these codes into this particular job. So now we go to Edit, Codes, and we have everything in here, even including your Magnail set. And that's how you bring in your codes file. Now again, the problem is this is tied to this one particular job. If you go to Configure, your global settings, you can go to Shared Data, and then we have this particular code library. Like I said, that's our default one. Now we can create another shared file, but the problem is I would like to combine this with the other one as one total big file. So I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to go to the global settings here, go to the job, and I'm going to prompt to import codes. I'm going to create me a brand new job, and I'm going to import. This is the default code library of Topcons. Okay, let's import that into this particular job. Okay, so now when we go to Edit, Codes, this is the default from Magnet. Now let's go to Exchange, from a file. Let's pick this file. Make sure we choose just the format that it is in. Let's skip all the common ones. Now, when we go to edit codes, we not only have the original Topcon codes in our job, we have all the ones that was created or imported in from that DOT file. Now, how do I use this for tomorrow, for the next job? What I want to do is go to Configure, and I want to go to the global settings, and we'll use what's called shared data. And I'm going to create another shared data file. This is the original one that it's using of just the Topcon file. Sorry, I jumped around there. But when I create a new one, I'll just say new updated file. Okay, I'm going to select all the data. Again, just a reminder, we're combining the default Topcon file and the DOT file into one file. And we'll click OK. And now we have this in the list. So I could choose from either one of these. So now, let's do this again. Let's go to Job. Let's create us a brand new job. I'm not going to import the code library because I don't want them to be in the job. I just want to read from the database. But if I go to Edit Codes, we don't see anything, but that's fine. Edit Points. Let's add a point. Now the new database has been updated with not only the magnet codes, but all the DOT codes was included with that. Let me just choose one just to pick that. All right. Configure, global. If I don't, I can basically have multiple description code lists that I can choose from. Now, I can always go back to here and edit, edit points. Let's add a new point, and now you will only see the ones from the Topcon's default database. I hope that makes sense. So that concludes this tutorial.